Don't scroll. Please don't scroll. We need to talk about the genocide that's occurring in the Sudan. And I know that there are a lot of distractions and moving parts and pieces occurring all over the world. But just like in Palestine, this event, this genocide has been occurring for roughly 2 years. So we need to maintain that same energy, the same amount of protesting, sign carrying, everything for those that are in the Sudan that's being affected. This is not background noise. This is not a joke. This is not a test. And I don't see it being displayed enough. I don't see people talking about it enough, what's occurring in the Sudan. And the crazy part is it's been happening at the same amount of time as the Palestinian crisis. And people are being raped, tortured, they're being displaced, they're dying daily. And just for reference, I won't mention or show any of the violence. I'll keep it respectful and I'll keep it focused. But we do need to talk about what's happening. And according to the US Department of State, in 2023, fighting exploded between Sudan's armed forces, the SAF, and a powerful militia from supposedly, allegedly being backed by the UAE. And of course, the UAE is denying any involvement, the Rapid Support Forces, or you'll see it referred to as RSF. And since then, cities have become battlefields. In Darfur, entire communities have been attacked and destroyed because of who these people are. And then in January 2025, the US government said the RSF fighters and their allied militias are committing genocide. And to be clear, both sides have committed and are committing war crimes. But the civilian populations are the ones suffering and paying the price. And this has now become the world's largest displacement. Millions have been forced and displaced from their homes. To be specific, according to Preventative Action, the Center for Preventative Action, 11 plus million people have been displaced within Sudan, and another 4 million have fled to neighboring countries. So just think about that. Families are grabbing whatever they can, and they're walking around exposed to the elements, trying to flee this violence. And this is what crisis looks like in real life. And while there is terror around every corner, hunger and disease are acting like silent killers within the crisis itself. Famine conditions have been confirmed in Fasher and Kadugli, and children are just, they're wasting away, no different from what you've seen in Palestine. And parents are skipping meals. They're trying to do whatever they can to sustain their kids with what little they can. And this is not a warning. This is not being hyperbolic. This is happening right now. And words matter. So this is a genocide. It's not a slogan. It's not something that's being, casually tossed about. It's a legal word that says that a group is being targeted for who they are. And again, rights groups have documented massacres and campaigned to drive out people like the Masalit folks from their homes and their villages. They've been suffering under the weight of slurs and terror. So we just got to call it for what it is. And just because the people that are committing these horrific acts have the same melanation as those that are suffering from it, it doesn't make it any less tragic. There are documented RSF UAE linked businesses. There are supposedly flights that's being flagged because they're leaving the UAE and have been landing in Sudan, whether it's weapons or gold or whatever the case may be. There are supposed sanctions against Hamiti, who is the current leader of the RSF. And so there are a lot of hands in the pot. And of course, again, the UAE is denying any involvement. But whatever the case is happening. So this series is about shattering the silence, or the at the very least getting more information out. And so that means if I can use my platform to help anybody, that's what I'm going to do, because that's the whole point of what Spice Bruns is. And because many of us in the diaspora, we know the pain. While the world pretends to debate our humanity, our people die and bleed. And the UN and the West are typically the Johnny-come-latelys. We've seen these stories before. It shouldn't take 2 years for this to have mass attention brought to it, but here we are. So we got to cut through the noise. We got to get engagement so that people understand fast get up to speed, but they can act even faster. So part one, just basically I'll lay out what's happening, who the players are, who's affected. I give you a little bit of background about the sub-Saharan slave trade perpetrated by the Arabs, and then why that anti-blackness is still lingering around. Part two is our action, what we can do in the form of digital campaigns, in the form of pressure campaigns, anything that we can do as far as sending monies or supplies to vetted organizations on the ground. Then that's what we have to do. In the meantime, the things that you can do right now, first and foremost, I'll tell you, if you have a trip going into the UAE, Dubai, or whatever, that that shouldn't be the case. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do, but if they are supporting this war, you shouldn't support them. So watch the series, get the information out, actively push the information to 5 people, and then just tell them, hey, you got to watch it. We got to get the word out. Whatever platforms we have, we got to use them to bring about some change. Until then, I'll see you on the high ground.